Welcome to the MyNewMortgage.ca homebuyer video series. Today we are joined by Daniel Durst. Daniel is an insurance specialist in the Oakville area. Welcome, Daniel.
Great, thank you for the opportunity.
Home insurance is often described as a package policy. Can you explain some of the things that are included in this policy and some things that a homeowner might want to consider?
Certainly, all companies will have their own packages of basic coverages within their policy. And you need to spend time up front before you purchase the policy to understand what each of these packages will include and more importantly, what they don't include. Generally, the more coverages and protections that are within that policy, the more expensive the policy is. And unfortunately, a lot of people won't really understand whether they're covered for certain items until the time of claim, and that's not the time to know whether you're protected or not. So within each of the packages, understand what different coverages, but generally there are three main areas of coverage that all protection or all packages will protect you for.
You mentioned there were three main areas of protection. Can you touch on the first area?
Sure. The first area is often called coverage A, and that's mainly the protection of the building and the structure of the building and anything which is permanently attached to the home. So it would be items like your kitchen cupboards and kitchen cabinets and anything that may be permanently installed, such as dishwashers. Now that's kind of the starting point for your policy, and your insurance company will calculate what they believe the maximum risk is to them should that home burn to the ground and be completely gone. Basically what it's going to cost them to rebuild that. And this may or may not be similar to your purchase price or the market value from the perspective that not only building the house, but possibly redoing the foundation, possibly doing environmental cleanup, that type of thing, is all included in this coverage A number. So when your insurance company starts, they're going to calculate that number, and that will drive a lot of other numbers in your policy. One of the important things to know about your coverage A or the replacement of that structure is you'll want to make sure that you have a policy which has similar construction to it, meaning that when they rebuild that structure, it's going to be similar materials they use, solid wood doors, wide baseboards, upgraded carpets, that type of thing. Some policies on the market are common construction, meaning they're basically going to build it to builder's grade. They've fulfilled their contract, and obviously you're not happy because you haven't had the same house that you lost prior to the event. So coverage A is extremely important that you understand how it was calculated and make sure it appears to be an accurate number.
We've covered the first area of protection on home policies. What would the second area of protection be?
The second area is often called coverage B, and it usually protects your personal property. Often with a package of insurance, the company will give you a percentage of your coverage A, which is included at no charge. So you may be covered for $300,000, $400,000 worth of personal property. Now your personal property is everything that you're going to move into that home, and if you ever move out, everything that you're going to take with you. So your clothing, your furniture, your appliances, pots and pans and dishes, all of that type of thing. So when they come up with a coverage B, you'll want to make sure that that is enough coverage to protect your personal property. And also you'll want to make sure that you have full replacement cost on that. Some companies will give actual cash value, meaning at time of claim, they're going to discount or lower the value of all of your goods by their age. You don't want that. Your other option is a replacement value for your personal property, meaning that you're going to go out and buy a new TV similar to what you had before, and they're going to reimburse you for what that is. So coverage B is very important, and it's very important that you understand all of the different clauses and options in this area, because there may be special limits for things like cash, for things like jewelry, those types of things. So make sure you spend some time talking about your coverage B and how your personal property is being protected.
We've covered the first two areas of protection. Can you tell us a bit about the third area?
Sure. The third area of protection that's included in most homeowners policies is protection from liability, it's called. And basically that's protection against a lawsuit that's brought against you. If you injure a person, or if somebody is injured on your premise, or you do damage to their property, they're going to sue you, and this is going to be covered under your liability protection. This pays for lawyers to be hired to defend you in court, and will pay up to those limits on any judgment which is brought against you. Generally, people are looking for higher areas of liability protection today. As our society becomes more litigious, we're finding that traditionally the $1 million that often was put on a homeowner's policy is often not enough. So make sure you look into this area and check and see whether you need higher limits of liability. It will depend a bit on your lifestyle. It will depend a little bit on your assets as well. But liability is an extremely important part. So make sure you understand that section as well.